So here, CEO and founder of 850 Club Credit. Hope everyone's doing well today. Today, we're going to talk to you guys about credit scores. All right. So we get a couple questions every now and then that I think that everyone's going to need an answer to, that we see from clients and comments and things of that sort. So today's question that we got was, do credit scores or can credit scores go negative? Okay. Can they go negative? Can they be negative? What's the answer? Yes or no, right? And the answer is no. Okay. So let's go into why it is no and how you can avoid that. Okay. So number one, the lowest credit score that you can get is 300. Okay. The highest credit score that you can get is going to be 850. All right. Now with 300, some people, no one starts at 300. I want to be clear. So if when a person turns 18, they really have no score at all. You pretty much kind of start somewhere between about 580 to about 640. Okay. To really go under, really, I would say probably about 600 to about 640. Okay. And the reason why that is you actually have to do something negative to get under 600. Okay. And then now I have seen some credit scores around the 300 range. I never forget, I got invited to speak out at an event. And at that event, this one young lady showed me her credit score, and it was like a 325. I think that's one of the lowest credit scores I've seen. I took a screenshot of that, so I have to share that with you guys. Matter of fact, I'll share that in the community if I can find it. But either way, when I looked at her credit report, what I noticed was all of her accounts most of them were negative. She hadn't paid anybody in the last 6 months. Everything was late. So there was collections on there, late payments on there. I mean, she pretty much was like, listen, I've given up paying on everybody, right? I'm gonna be honest, guys. You have to try hard to get under 400. Okay. Like if you're under 400, you honestly have to have a strategy or a game plan to get under 400. Okay. But you cannot go negative though. Now you can have no score at all, which is why a lot of these companies right now are putting things in place so people can have more opportunities, and more on that a little bit later, because a lot of companies are coming out with just new products, and we'll keep you guys posted on that. But for the most part, people that are essentially score invisible, as they call them, if they're score invisible, then they're really trying to give them opportunities to not only build their score, but to build it with just regular natural things. Okay. But again, just because your credit score can't go negative does not mean that you guys shouldn't have a game plan to avoid the 300 range, the 400 range, the 500 range. So how can you get yourself out of that? Well, this is what I like to tell people. The lower your score is, the faster it will increase when something positive happens. I'm going to say that again. The lower your score is, all right, the faster it will increase as soon as something positive happens. Anything positive, okay? And that's what the algorithm is looking for. It's waiting for you to get an understanding of not necessarily how the algorithm works, but just so you can start changing either some of your habits or at least some of your recent activity. Okay. The credit score algorithm is, it hasn't really changed, over the years per se. It's more so just going to reward people for at least doing more positive than negative. So if your credit score is under 620, under 600, it's simple. You're just doing more negative than positive, right? And so that's really all you got to do is just keep an eye on that. But just because it can't go negative does not mean that you, again, don't want to, of course, you never want to be close to that range, because once you get under 600, that's where you start paying higher interest rates. You start having terms that are unfavorable. For example, I was talking to a client today, and he was essentially had a couple questions about some things. And by the way, he got the advanced credit blueprint, so we hooked them up. But either way, he had a question, and the question was, hey, I'm trying to buy a car. I'm trying to put some things in place. And his credit score, it wasn't exactly where he wanted it to be. However, since he followed our credit blueprints, as a matter of fact, I'm going to actually reach back out to him so you guys he can leave a testimonial video. But either way, he talked about how he was in the mid 500s, low 500s, and then his score went up to the high fives, and now he's in the mid sixes. And it's only been about 45 days since he's gotten the blueprint. But anyway, I was explaining to him how, again, most of the things that he had, which is older past negative history. And that credit report was just honestly looking for some type of life support. It was looking for, hey, when are you going to get this? When are you going to pay somebody on time? Not him, but just anybody, right? That's what the algorithm is looking for. It's saying, when are you going to pay somebody on time? How often are you going to pay somebody on time, right? How many new accounts are you going to keep getting? How many accounts are you going to just, have go bad and then not rebuild those relationships, right? All of these things matter with your credit score, even though you can't go negative, right? Now, you also can't go from 300 down to zero. Okay, that's something that people should know as well, too, is that once you get a credit score, you will not only go negative, I'm sorry, not only you'll never see what the negative side is, but at the same time, you'll never go into zero. You'll never go under 300. Okay. But it takes a lot of work to even get that low. But honestly, guys, you want to try your best to always be in the mid to high sixes. That's going to be your minimum. Okay. Anything that's under 620, you're not going to like it. Okay. Simply because, again, you're not going to get the terms that you want. Imagine trying to get a car and everyone else is able to get 5 years on the loan, 6 years on the loan. But because they can't trust you because of your credit, right? Now you may only be able to get 4 years on that, that auto loan. You might be able to get the 5 years. So everyone's situation is different, but you're most definitely going to pay a higher interest rate. If you want to buy a car, not have to put any money down, right? That's going to play a role based on your credit score. If you're looking to go into home ownership and you're trying to get down payment assistance from, the state or whatever, platforms that are available, you won't be able to get that because you need about a 640 in most states to get down payment assistance. So again, you want to be where the sweet spot is. At minimum, the absolute floor for you needs to be 620, 640 and say, okay, I'm not going less than this. Okay. Usually 600, 640s. Those are people that are either rebuilding, people that are brand new to credit, or people that's got a few credit card balances. It's not the end of the world. Okay. But when you start getting into the sevens and the eights, that's more so doing great things for an extended period of time. Okay. We talked about how long you had to have accounts to get into the 800s. We talked about how many accounts you need to have to get to the 800s, right? But at the same time, a lot of people don't know that it's all about longevity. It's all about consistency. It's all about doing the same things over and over and over just to make sure you are not only creating the foundation for you, but you're really setting up for your family as well, too. Not just because it's credit, but simply because the terms are going to be a lot easier. You won't have to make phone calls saying, hey, can you co-sign for me? Hey, can I get some additional money to put down? I'm trying to get this car, right? And I'm not here and I'm not knocking people if that's had to happen in the past. I'm just saying, take this information that I'm giving you right now and say, today is the day that I stop doing that. Okay. If I'm giving you any kind of value, go ahead and hit the like button, the subscribe button, and subscribe. And if you guys are on other platforms, you know what, man, I keep forgetting to go to Instagram too. So I know they probably over there mad at me. So let me go ahead and get them up to speed here. So it's probably too late, to be honest. Who knows at this point? But either way, I'll go ahead and just get them the shorter version of the video. But either way, that's what you guys got to understand is that, again, just because you can't go negative, you still want to make sure that you're staying as high, staying as positive as you can, and just kind of go from there. Try to keep new negative things from popping up on your credit report. So when you guys go to the hospital and you don't pay that bill, keep an eye on it. Yes, they made some changes with medical bills, but I cannot tell you how many times people in the home buying process, their scores drop because of a new medical bill. People at the dealership, they check their scores a week before, and then they come to the dealership and then they're surprised when they see something new and negative. So again, stay on top of your things. Okay. They will report it to these collection agencies. And once it's reported, whether it can get removed or not, in that time frame that it is there, right, that will cost you thousands of dollars in interest simply because you didn't catch it in time. All right. So hopefully this video was helpful. If you guys like this video, like it. If you want to share it, share it. And as always, be sure to subscribe as we got nothing but great content well on the way. But make sure you guys take a look at our advanced credit blueprint, course, and our car buying course is actually we got a special going on for this weekend only. But again, if you're looking to improve your credit score, qualify for home ownership, lower your car payment, buy a car, lease a car, go into rental property ownership, get a higher limit credit card, whatever your credit goal is, that advanced credit blueprint can most definitely help you do so. It's easy to follow, guys. All right. And we'll see you guys on the next video. Have a good one.